Cottage Studio. Today we're going to do the second in my beginner series. We're going to show you how to make a really cute set of cards, and there'll be 8 cards in the set, and it's very easy to do, but each one is a little different and it will help get you a variety of cards. So we're going to, last week I showed you how to make these cards using the same paper pack. These ones were make very pretty Valentines. But today we're going to make some masculine or feminine cards. We're going to use the same paper that comes out of the set, and this is the set of paper from Stampin' Up called the True Love designer paper, and it's black and white. And I like this because it's very, very versatile. So I've chosen a piece of paper, and this one has got flowers on one side and a design on the other. So you could make a masculine card or a feminine card. And I'm going to show you how to cut the paper for your backgrounds. So we're going to make 3 strips of 4 inches each. This is a 12-inch piece of paper. So I've got my cutter, and I'm going to line it up at the 4-inch mark. And I'm going to cut 1 strip. And line it up at the 4-inch mark again. Cut another strip. And then I've got my 3 strips, 4 inches each. And then I'm going to cut them at 5 1/4, because the card is 5 1/2 usually. 5 1/4. Five 1/4. This one is still a little longer, so I'm going to cut this as 5 1/4 as well. And it will leave me with a little strip at the bottom, and nothing will be wasted. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 2 more to cut. 5 1/4. So now I've got these strips, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can use this part or I can use this part. So if I want a masculine card, I can use that design, or a feminine card, or the flowers, depending on who I'm making the card for. So I'm going to show you the cards, and the cards I've made with the card bases. So you'll need to use heavyweight card. You can use any color, but I've used white because my paper is black and white. So there are 2 ways to cut this. You can cut it in half this way or this way, and it makes 2 different styles of card. So if you cut it this way, it makes a fold over card. And if you cut it in half this way and then score it in half, it makes this type of card. So I've cut 2 cards as an example. I'm going to use 2 stamp sets. You could use any image stamp set that you have, but today I'm going to use the really cute Darling Donkey set. There we go. Darling Donkeys. And this is free if you purchase $60 worth of Stampin' Up products during this month. And the other set that I've used is also a free set if you purchase $60 worth of stuff. It's called Approaching Perfection, and it's got some really cute birthday sentiments and a couple of little birthday images. So these are the ones I've used to create the card. So the first card I've done is a card with a little rolled piece. Very, very simple. I've got my little donkey in the corner. So I take my piece of cardstock I'm going to stamp my little, let's do the flip over one. I'm going to stamp my little donkey. I've just used one black ink pad for all of these, and you'll notice that I didn't color any of the images because it's black and white. It might be fun for the person to get it to color it. So I've inked up my little donkey on my acrylic block, and I'm going to stamp my little donkey right in the corner. There we go. And then it says, "Hey there, friend." So that's a little sentiment that's included in the set. And I've got that prepared on my little acrylic block as well. Stamp right here, right behind the donkey. And then I'm going to take my paper, and I can decide whether I want the flowered side out or if I want the design side. I think for this one I like the design side. And all I do is I take a little marker or a pencil. I start in the corner and I roll it quite tight like that. Roll it up, and don't worry if it's loose like that. I'm going to glue my corner down, my triangle of the edge. Like that. Line up my design so it's straight. And then I'm going to take it and roll it again tightly so that my flowers show and my words show. Press it down and add a little bit more glue. I like the liquid glue because it gives me a little bit more flexibility. Press it down, and then I put it under some weight so that it holds it in place until that glue dries, and that's what my card would look like. Okay, simple but effective. So that's the first one. The second card I've just glued the bottom, the base down, and then I took a piece of colored paper. You could use any color. I've used red and pink for these two. You see, one I used the stripes and one I used the flowered. And I stamped my donkey on a little strip. So my red piece was 3.5 by 4 inches, and then my white piece was 2 by 4 inches. I stamped my little donkey with the flower and stamped, "Hey there, friend." And then I colored only the flower with my markers with red and green as a little focus piece to highlight the little flower on the piece. And you can see I can get two different styles. Very easy. This is called a layered card, and most cards are layered, but it's a very effective technique. The second one, I took the piece of backing paper and then I just cut it in half and flipped one. So I have the flowers at the bottom and the stripes at the top, and then I cut a circle. You could use a triangle, a square, whatever shape you wanted, but I thought that this donkey looked really cute on a circle. So you can trace around a shape or a cup to get a circle shape to cut it out, or you can use a die or a punch. So I've cut out my circle, and then I've taken a piece of white paper and stamped my little donkey. It says hee-haw, and layered it together. So there's the one in red, and there's the one in pink. For my next card, I took the card base and I took my layered piece, laid it down, and then I made a little flip up like this. So all I did is I cut a strip of white, 3.25 by 8.5, which is the length of the card, and folded it in half, scored it and folded it in half, stamped my one donkey on the front, says "It's your birthday," excuse me, and then stamped the little donkey inside that says hee-haw, as if he's celebrating. So that makes a cute card. So there's the striped version, and there's the flowered version. And again, I just colored the little flower. The next one, I took my piece of paper and I cut it diagonally. So I put it in my cutter. Let's move this out of the way. And I lined it up in my cutter from one corner to the other. So I put the edge right on the slit that folds, it's the groove that my cutting blade will run. Make sure it didn't move. And then cut it like this so that I get two pieces. So this is a great shape to do some cards with. So you can overlap them like this. That probably would look better like that. You can put one at the top, one at the bottom. You can flip one. So you have a half flowered and half design. Okay. For this one, I put this at the top and I've used a piece of red. Again, the little donkey with the flower. This one I did with the flowered piece and pink paper instead. That makes it nice and easy. So it's a combination of a layered card as well as a triangle card. So because I've cut it with two triangles, I've got another piece that I can use to make this card. So this one I did the stripes and this one I did the flowers with just the little donkey underneath. The next one I did with the same kind of background, and I did a little fold over card. This one looks a little complicated, but it really isn't. It's really quite easy. I cut the same strip, 3 1/4 by 8 1/2, and instead of just gluing it on the front, I've glued it on the inside of the card. So for this one I've just put it on the edge, put the glue down, folded over my card, made sure that it was sticking out enough to close, stamped my donkey on the front, and stamped the saying. Now this saying comes in one piece out of the Perfection series, and I just cut it in half. So this one says, the bad news is I forgot your birthday. The good news is I forgot your age. And I cut a little heart, and I did that quite easily with a piece of paper, and I just folded over the edge, and I took my scissors, went around the curve, and cut it like this. So voila, there's my little heart. Of course I could stamp some little hearts on my little donkey in the front if I wanted to. Made it more of a Valentine's looking. Glued that on, and that is sort of a Dutch fold over card like that. So there's one with flowers, and there's the same card with the stripes. That one's got a red heart. Same idea. And I stamped happy birthday in that one. My last card uses those 3 strips that we cut off the end. And this one I layered the 3 strips. I stamped the donkey and fussy cut him out. So there is no die with this set, but it makes it easy to cut just around the edge. And I had a little saying that I had already stamped. There's the one with stripes with the red strip. And there's the one with flowers and the pink strip. So that's quite a few cards that I have made very quickly, but they're very cute. So then I took my acrylic boxes. They come like this. Stampin' Up sells them. There's 10 in a package. And I'm going to gather some together. I've stamped the envelopes with the little donkeys. Whatever image you have. Each one is stamped with a different donkey. And I'll take 4 of the cards and 4 of the envelopes, put them in to a set like this, put them in the box. I've made a belly band, which is just a strip of construction paper, and put it around the edge, made a little tag, stamped the donkey, and that'll be a cute little gift to give someone. So there's quite a few different techniques in this video. There's 8 different cards but you can see that just by flipping the paper, it can make a difference to how your design looks. If you keep it simple, there's hardly any coloring in this, but it would still be some very cute cards for you to make for someone. Thanks for joining me today. If you're interested in any of these materials, you can contact me. Thanks for joining me. Bye.